Hi guys, so this is another example or question on charging by induction. Uh, so the general pattern is going to be like we'll start from here and then we'll go there, and then from there we'll go here, and then we'll end up with a sphere that is uniformly charged and it's negative. So basically the story behind the sphere goes kind of like this. Before the sphere was lonely and it was neutral, it was on its own. It was not charged at all. Then we brung in a glass rod, also known as an insulator. An insulator is a material that does not allow electrons to flow freely. So we brung in a positively charged rod. Now the sphere is no longer alone, so it's happy, but also annoyed sometimes because sometimes the second person can speak too much. So basically the sphere experiences a mixed emotions of positive and negative, happiness and sadness. So basically when you brung a positive charge close to a neutral sphere, a sphere that is metallic by the way, so it can allow the flow of electrons, because metals like to donate electrons more than anything. We have the sphere here, and it has electrons that have moved to one side, one region, because electrons are attracted to those positive charges, and then there are positive charges that move to the right hand side of the sphere. So here we have a induced dipole in the sphere. Dipole as in two poles, and there's one positive pole and there's one negative pole. So that's what we've gotten to here, essentially. So now what we're doing is we're adding something called the ground. The idea with the ground is that it either allows electrons to flow into the sphere or to flow like from the ground into the sphere. So electrons flow from the earth or the ground into the sphere, or from the sphere into the ground, into the earth. So electrons can flow in two possible directions when you connect the ground to the charged sphere. Now, how do we know whether electrons flow into the sphere or out of the sphere? This just depends on where we connect the ground itself. In this scenario, we've connected the ground to the positively charged region of the sphere. Because of that, electrons are going to flow from the ground. They're the ones that are going to be attracted into the sphere, and they're going to neutralize this region of the sphere. So that's what we did. So that's what's going on. Gradually over time, we neutralize those positive charges. Gradually over time, electrons flow into this region of the sphere, and now we're kind of at the end where we only have one positive charge left in that region of the sphere. And because of that, eventually that region is now completely neutral, and so now we remove the ground because there's no reason. If something is neutral, we no longer need electrons to flow in or out of that region. Now, so we went from this step to this step, and now from there we went to here. We neutralized the right hand side of the sphere, and while we did all of this, we still have our glass rod at a distance, but close enough to the sphere to still have an influence on the sphere. Hence why we had negative charges on the left hand side of the sphere. They were kind of like not moving, they're just there in that region specifically, concentrated there. And now what we do is we remove, right now the glass rod is positively charged, so it's attracting those electrons, just like I said. So the electrons aren't really distributed throughout the sphere, they are focused in a specific region, trying to get closer to that rod because it's positively charged. There are two lovers that really love each other, and they're really trying to get closer to each other. And then the glass rod decides to dump the lover, to dump its partner. So we remove the glass rod that's positively charged, and now we have the sphere again. It's on its own, and it is sad, and it's negatively charged. And the negative charges are uniformly distributed now because the positive charge is from the glass rod. The glass rod itself is gone, so the electrons don't really have anywhere else to go, so they sort of distribute over the sphere. So now we have the sphere lonely on its own, and it's feeling incredibly sad because it got dumped by its partner. I hope this helps explain how we charge something through induction, and how we can use the earth as well to pull out charges, pull out negative charges, or to give negative charges to metals. Thank you and have a good day.